Hello, hello, good morning, muy buenos dias, continuous liners. I just got my coffee delivered to me. It's got one wing and alita, right? Because it's just a one-winged cup of coffee. Delicious. That first sip of coffee is always pow, 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 pow. Good morning. How's everyone doing this Monday morning, Monday, July 24th, 2023. The month is just screaming by. The whole year is screaming by. Our lives are screaming by. It's really quite incredible. You know, it's something about when you go home, something about going home, like it teaches you things, right? And it taught me, being back in Chicago a couple of weeks ago. I'm not in denial that I'm getting older, but I was aware of it in ways that I hadn't really considered, especially because I saw people that I hadn't seen in so long. And so I may have thought, oh my gosh, they look a little bit older. And then I have to say to myself, I look older too, right? Like it's just what happens. It's what happens in life, right? One day you're young and spry and full of fear about everything in the world, and then you go out and you start doing stuff, and then it's over, right? I don't know if it's that quick, but yeah, it's just how did I get on the whole morbid thing? It's not really morbid, but it's just acknowledging the passage of time, right? And none of us know like how much time we have left, right? With whatever is going on in our lives, right? And so I, like many of you, get worried about, like, what am I doing? Am I doing the right thing? Am I making correct business decisions? Should I do this and not do that? Should I go here and not do that? Should I align myself here and not there? And, so I'm sort of deep in those thoughts, especially when I'm back here in Mexico City, because I don't have a lot of social interaction. So I just come back here and I get all consumed with, like, am I doing the right thing? Right? And I guess really at the end of the day, I know that I love drawing and I love encouraging people to draw. And I feel like hi, little doggy. I feel like the continuous line is really the continuous line has been around forever, right? Like I just developed a curriculum around it, right? And I'm sure others have too. I stay away from like looking into what other people are doing because I don't like to convolute what I'm doing, right? I have been accused of that before. Oh, you took this from so-and-so. No, I honestly didn't. This is something I've developed on my own. And I have enjoyed developing the curriculum around continuous line. And the proof's in the pudding, right? Like my dedication to my continuous line practice has really, especially being back in Chicago a couple weeks ago, it's a city that I'm from. And I've always been in awe of the architecture and this is the whole towering landscape of Chicago, right? And I was back there and I sketched it like a champ. And so I've come back here, excuse me, I've come back home here in Mexico City. Now I have a little tickle in my throat, like someone's cooking the skins. You know that, like when you fire up the skins on peppers? Someone must be doing that, because now I'm choking. Anyways, I just really got to see how my hard work and dedication to my drawing and my continuous line, what a difference it made for my drawings in Chicago. My experience as an artist while I was in Chicago was very different from the last time I was there because I'm much more skilled and I had more confidence and I have better composition, right? The three tenets of my continuous line is, the first thing is to push through drawing fears, right? Like I was standing in front of Holy Name Cathedral, boom, 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 I drew it with a cop car. The second thing is gain better understanding of composition. I feel like the lines leaning into other lines teaches me improved composition, right? And then number 3 is build confidence, right? So I wasn't sure how I was going to do in Chicago with all those buildings and all those people. I'm in Mexico City. The Mexico City Urban Sketchers community is basically doesn't exist. They exist for themselves. They don't exist for a greater purpose, right? So I have no sketching community here. I'm building one a little bit, but it's just weird. So I don't really have sketcher community here. So being back there in Chicago, I was able to sketch with other people and just sort of like be a part of a community, right? So it felt super good. And what am I trying to say here? I'm trying to say that a continuous line practice, I'm not encouraging anyone to draw, incorporate it as their style, but continuous line is wonderful vitamins for your drawing abilities. Vitamins for drawing. That's how I see the continuous line practice. I'm out here on the streets of Mexico City. I'm a few blocks from my house in this beautiful little cafe, El Volador. It means the flyer. So they have wings on their cups. Beautiful Art Deco building. I've drawn it a few times. I drew a really pretty rendition of it, and I showed it to the people in there, and they were like, yeah. Yeah. I mean, sometimes people can go crazy for a drawing, and other times, oftentimes, people don't care, right? Like, nobody cares. Nobody cares that you can draw. Nobody cares that you just drew them. Nobody cares. I say this generally speaking, that nobody cares, right? Because, and not like in a jaded 2023 sort of like nobody cares way, but really as a way of like, just do your thing because nobody cares, right? Like if you want to sit in the street and draw, do it because nobody cares. People could walk by. I'm talking at like indoor voice level to my phone. People walk by and they look at me, and at first I would be like, oh my God, they're looking at me while I'm talking to my phone because I have no human friends. But now I'm like, it doesn't matter because if they, in 10 minutes, they're going to be talking to their phone, or they just came from where they were talking in their phone, right? So nobody cares, and just do the thing you love to do. That's what I feel like I have. My message to myself is like, I don't know how much time I have left, but I'm just going to keep drawing. I'm just going to keep drawing. I'm trying to stay out of my head. I take things personally. I take things, I didn't get invited here and I don't get included into this, right? Like I have to let go of that stuff because nobody cares, right? So just focus on my own business, right? My drawing career, being an artist, and building my drawing community, right? Because in a way, I felt like I was excluded from a drawing community. There's not a drawing community here in Mexico City, and this is where I live, right? So I just have to create my own community, right? And so that's what I've done. Hello, everyone who might be there watching me. I know sometimes it's not guaranteed that people are watching me when I see your name. I've had full-on conversations with people who are not there, but that wouldn't be the first time. And you know what? Nobody cares. Nobody cares that you talk to yourself because honestly, everyone's walking around with these little earbuds in their ear, talking, having full-blown conversations with what looks like themselves, right? Because I think we all look a little insane these days, right? We all walk around talking to ourselves. We sit one person at a table, as I'm doing right now, talking to my phone or drawing, right? So I'm going to do some line warm-ups. I got the hiccups. I got a tickle in my throat. I got the hiccups. Oh my God, what next? It's Monday morning. I'm going to go easy on myself. I think I'm just going to go straight forward here. I was like, oh, I'll do something cool, drawing, blah, 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 because I'm such a good artist. No, I'm just going to go back to oh God, I thought my pen wasn't working. I'm just going to go back to basics and do the lines, right? Because the lines are the devil's in the details, right? These may seem very insignificant and elementary to just do straight lines up and down and across the page, but this is where the magic happens, right? This is where, by dedicating yourself to a practice where you're just drawing lines, right? There's not a lot of ego involved here. There's not a lot of like, ooh, can you draw that sunflower perfectly? I've been drawing sunflowers in my off time because I'm sending sunflower watercolors up to Hebron, Illinois. And so it's hard drawing a sunflower. Did you know that? So when I start drawing it, I go, oh God, you wrecked it already. Oh God, look at that petal, that's off. Oh God, look at that, you made it too big. Whatever. when you just draw lines or just do something that's repetitive and monotonous, the ego goes, okay, I'm going to sit this one out because I got nothing to say. Except say, oh, look, that line is crooked. Nobody cares. Nobody cares if your lines are crooked, right? Nobody cares if your lines collide. Nobody cares if you're sitting in the street drawing. If anything, they're curious and they're jealous, right? When people sometimes see people drawing in the street, making art in the street, it's like, ooh, look at that, because everyone has a phone in their hand, or a dog, or a baby, right? So those are kind of or a coffee, right? There's sort of, in the morning, there's 4 things in people's hands: phones, dogs, babies, and coffees. See, there goes a dog. Hello. He turned around and looked at me. That's why I had to say hi. So then to see somebody who's sitting in the streets drawing, and people go, oh, what? Who is that? Someone famous? Not yet. Not yet. Not famous yet. I don't want to be famous. I just want to be known for my work, right? That's all. So just drawing lines, and you know what? I just felt it. It just kind of kicked in. It centers me, right? Like it's something to sort of ground my focus. Just boom, follow the line, right? Just follow the line. Don't worry about the news. Oh my God, Twitter's changing its name. I mean, am I supposed to lose sleep over that? It is kind of weird, but there's a lot of daily screaming about things, right? And some things need screaming about, right? There's some things going on in the world that need attention, that need help. I mean, in the whole political realm, which I'm not going to get into, there's things that we need to do to kind of keep the ship afloat, right? Because there are some forces that are moving very quickly and fiscally to change some things, right? So, it's good to be aware. It's good to stay aware of things. It's hard to know what's the truth or not, right? There's a lot of misinformation out there. But, there's a lot of screaming out there. I mean, I think I'm not alone when every morning I look at the news just to see the what, and you go, oh, God, really? Oh, Jesus, not again, right? Like that kind of stuff. So we all have to do whatever you have to do, whatever you need to do to calm yourself and to ground yourself, right? Because we live in a very, very, very chaotic era, right? I mean, I think life has always been chaotic, right? But like this are we even post-pandemic, right? It's hard to even know. There's just a lot of chaos politically, environmentally, medically, financially, travel-wise, right? Like, I just glance, I see, Greece is being evacuated and stuff like that. And, that's scary, right? You plan a vacation to go someplace, and then the whole island's on fire, right? Fires have happened before, right? But they seem to be happening at a breakneck speed, right? All of Canada is on fire, and then the smoke's in the United States, and you can't hide from this stuff, right? There's some of these issues are so big, it's hard to know what to do or think about them, right? And I'm talking about a lot of different things, not just fires, but just like politically, environmentally, financially, right? Like I was talking to somebody about how the peso, the value of the peso to the dollar, and a lot of people are upset about that. I'm like, honestly, what can I do, right? What can I do that my money exchange rate is different now, right? I don't know what I can do, but I certainly don't want to get mad about it, right? Just got to roll with it. There's some things, I guess it's a fine line of like knowing what you just have to roll with, because it is an era of great change, right? So what are the things that we just kind of have to like, hi, there goes the team right there. What is it that, choose your battles, right? Like, can I get like horrendously, outrageously mad about the guy that thinks he's going to be president again? I think there's a part of me that wants to, but there's also like, I just have to let it go, right? I have to trust that some things are going to happen that are going to, not let that allow that to happen again. But it's scary, right? And the news is designed to scare us, right? Like, the news is designed to scare us, right? So it's important to focus on the things that are happening in the world that are good, because it's not all bad. It's not all bad. Spend time with friends. I mean, I just being in Chicago and up there in Illinois, Woodstock and Lake Geneva, I got to spend time with people I know and love. I don't get a lot of that. I don't get any of that here in Mexico City, right? So having had that up there back home, it really has done, in fact, I think it's really changed me. I don't know that I can continue to live in a city where there's no love, right? Mexico City has been tremendous in so many ways for my career, for my artistic ability, because I've just focused on my art, just focused on drawing. And but there comes a time where you're like, okay, that's cool, but I need the human connection too, right? I need friends. I need people who care about me. So I have some decisions to make, and those will come in due time. But in the meantime, I use my drawing practice to sort of help me sort things out, right? Because I can feel like already from the time I sat down here to doing this now to where I'm at on my page, I can feel my thoughts are a little bit more grounded, right? Because they are. I can just feel that they are grounded from doing my lines, right? From putting my focus, taking my focus. I guess it's taking the focus off of my ego, off of my like, oh, what was me? Everyone hates me. Nobody loves me, right? Taking the focus off of that, or whatever my problems are, and putting my focus on, let me just draw this line. Let me just draw this line. And I don't have to draw it perfectly, but let me just draw this line, right? And so then there's a shift that occurs. Like I don't go, oh my God, the world hates me, right? No, I go, oh, look at this line, nice calming lines. It's moving across the page. It's a beautiful day, beautiful weather, as always. I mean, we're in the rainy season here in Mexico City, so the mornings are always fresh. Got to wear a jacket now. I wish I had a scarf. Well, my scarf ties my phone to the table. But yeah, and then the afternoons, the rains move in, and it's super lovely. It gets all cloudy and chilly and rainy, and I love it. I love the rainy afternoons in Mexico City. Sometimes it rains through the night, but not always. So it's just, that looked like a cat. Thought a cat was walking by on a leash. But it's not a cat. It's a dog. Yeah, the whole dog thing, I really am missing not having a dog. My God, super hard. But I'm going out to San Miguel this week. I'm going to be at the rancho, the Cañada de la Virgen. And then I'm going to go to Guanajuato and spend some time with Hugo. And so as much as I want a dog right now, it just doesn't make sense from a timing standpoint. I don't want to get a new dog and then be like, oh, let me put it in the border because I'm traveling, right? And then next month I go to Ireland, right? So as my spiritual advisor said, wait till after Ireland to make any big decisions. Just wait. Just go enjoy your time in Ireland. And then when you get back, then change the world, blow up the world, change the world, right? Which I will probably do. I'll probably move. I don't know where, though. So, anyways, in the meantime, I'm going to, stick with my drawing practice because my drawing practice is it's the thing that helps me get through, right? It's the thing that grounds me. It's the thing that makes me feel human, right? When I get all wound up in my head, oh, the problems of the world and my problems and problems, right? Well, then I go out and I draw something, and I draw the guy sweeping, or the guy unloading the truck, or the guy sweeping the streets, or the cafe, or a dog, whatever. I just draw, or buildings. Being in Chicago, I really reminded myself I don't think that's right, but I really enjoy drawing the big buildings, right? And then I go out to Lake Geneva and I'm drawing cows and sunflowers and corn silos, and man, I loved it. It's always good to travel and do the art experience, right? I mean, it's one of the greatest things about life, I think. Traveling and travel sketching, right? Urban sketching, whatever you want to call it. Travel sketching, right? To experience a new land, a new place, a new people, a new culture, a new thing, and enjoy it through your drawing, right? Or try to capture a sense of it in your sketchbook, right? To me, that's like one of the coolest things. Also, one of the coolest things is coming home and sleeping in my own bed. I love traveling, but God, there's nothing like returning home and climbing in your own bed. I've been spending a lot of time there just catching up. I didn't have a lot of sleep in Chicago, right? So it's because I was excited and I wanted to see things, right? So now I've come home and in between working and I'm taking naps, right? All's well in love and war, right? Work hard, play hard. That's kind of how I see it right now. So a little bit of a dog interaction here. The big, beautiful, you can see his tail. Big, beautiful Afghan. Hello. See him? There we go. He has to lay down when another dog passes, so that happened right here. So that I suppose so. There's no altercations, right? All right, so here we go. Finish big with a heart. Truly, honestly, go easy on myself, go easy on others. I feel like having just traveled and seen a bit of the world, my hometown. I think a lot of people are really suffering mentally, emotionally right now. The past few years have been super, super, super challenging, right? No matter what your beliefs are, no matter how much your life changed, or maybe didn't even change, the past few years have been really hard. There's been some massive changes in the world, right? And I think a lot of people are struggling with that. And you throw in the financial aspect. Everything in America is very expensive. It's expensive here too now, right? So you got the financial woes, and you got the instability of like everything, right? And just the grief of our lives, right? The grief of the lives that we lost, right? Like we all lost something, because even if you didn't travel a lot, we just having to be at home for 3 years or whatever it was, 2 years, and not have social gatherings, not able to go to a concert, not be able to go to a restaurant, all these huge, massive changes. I just think a lot of people are really suffering, myself included, right? Like it's hard to know. I think the grief is so big from that era that it's like, I think we're all just kind of like stumbling at this point. Like, okay, let's try to move on with our lives, right? Even if I don't know how or don't know what to do, and where are my friends, and no one seems like they're as excited as they once were, right? There's a bit of we're all in a bit of a stupor in some level, right? Because that was very, very, very shocking what happened. Very shocking, right? And it's still shocking. The shock is here, the shock is alive. So go easy, even like I saw a bunch of MAGA idiots in Illinois, and I'm like, at first I was, ugh, and then I was like, you know what, just go easy on them. That's what they think is their deal. As long as they're not like, as long as fascism doesn't take over, let those idiots swirl in their flags and their rallies and their hats. I mean, that's what makes them feel good, right? And a part of something. But let's not take it any farther than that, okay? So I really had to let go of the whole MAGA idiots. And it's just where the world is right now. I mean, the middle America, there's a lot of that, right? Bless their hearts. But there's a lot of good-hearted people, wonderful people too, right? So go easy on myself, go easy on others, and just know that everyone is struggling with something right now, right? And drawing is a great way to manage through the struggles, or just at least forget about them for a while, right? Like I can forget about my problems for a while when I go out drawing, which that's that's what I'm going to continue to do, right? So anyways, thank you all for being here. Finish big with a heart. Go easy on myself. This is to go easy on myself, and that's to go easy on others, right? Go easy on myself because I'm all worried about things. So just go easy, and then go easy on others, right? Like, who cares if let people do their thing, right? Let people do their thing because everyone is fighting their own battle. So anyways, the lines have already calmed me down. Now I can sit here and have my coffee. Oh, I got to get to class. The fundamentals is going to roll on through August. We're going to run through August, and we're going to take a 2-month break. I'm going to go to Ireland, and then I'm going to go to Guanajuato and work on getting my art out there. I'm building a new website, and so I'm going to start really getting my art out there. So that's what I'm going to do. But then the continuous line fundamentals comes back in November. So we'll have a little break from the drawing, and then we'll be back at it. And at first I was a little afraid. I was like, oh, I'm going to lose people. But when I surveyed my people, almost all of them said, yeah, it'll be nice to have a little bit of a break, and then we'll come back. Because most of them agree it's a good way to just have this in their daily lives, right? Or like 3 times a week. The drawing practice, where you meet live with other people, a community, you see what others do, and then it's over. Fastest hour of your day. Anyways, everyone, have a great day. Thanks for being in here. Go easy on yourself and go easy on others. Peace, baby. See you next time.